What's up, everybody? I am joined by my good friend, Nick Bruce. Nick, congratulations on making the Olympic team. We will get into that later, but I believe you have an announcement. You have a new bike sponsor. You're going to tell the world. There's a good chance they already saw it on social media or in the headline to this video, but what is it?
I am now riding for DK Bicycles, the amazing Ohio brand.
So, Nick has kind of gone home. You never rode for him before, but it almost seems like you've gone home. You were riding for a company based in England. Now you're riding for a company based about 2 hours from your house. How did this come about?
I've been extremely impressed from what I've heard with Marcus Christopher and his dad, just how DK's ran and like how involved they are with everything regarding parts and like edits and everything you could think of. And it just sounded like a real team. And I was like, wow, I'm really impressed. And I was kind of losing motivation around Total the last year or so. It just felt like I wasn't really a part of anything compared to what it started out as. It was like amazing. We had an amazing team. The most progressive riders in BMX were on it. And I just feel like things kind of fizzled down, and I was just personally not as excited to ride for the brand. And if I'm not excited, I don't think it's going to portray well for Total. And I don't think that's fair for Total. And I just wanted a clean slate somewhere else and just to dip my feet in something new and just re-spark something that's more team oriented.
That all makes sense to me. So how did it go down? Did you get a random phone call? Did Marcus put in the good word? Did you shoot him the old DM? How did this go down?
Yeah, so I was debating this for a long time, even like COVID, like early on in COVID, to reach out. After qualifying for the Olympics, it just didn't feel like Total was involved with that journey as much. Like they didn't really post about anything. They didn't really post that we were at events. And after actually making the dream happen, I was like, wow, I just feel like kind of hung out to dry by Total. And it kind of like hit my threshold where I was like, you know what, I kind of want to reach out to DK just because they're based in Ohio. Me and Marcus ride together all the time. And I know the bike's strong because I've watched Marcus beat the crap out of it. So I know it's going to handle whatever I'm going to do to it. So I just sent the DM and reached for the stars, and somehow it all came together and they were really into it and they were all super stoked to bring me along.
You know, Nick, that's an awesome story, but I think the one bad part that's going to come out of this is now every kid at home who is in company's DMs every single day is going to do it 10 times now, knowing that it works. So on behalf of all the bike companies out there, shame on you, Nick Bruce.
Yeah, I'm sorry for all the future requests that are going to be happening. I'm assuming. Yeah, I felt even weird doing it, but after talking to a few friends, they were like, no, there's no harm in it. Just might as well reach out. And if they said no, like no hard feelings or anything. Like I know it's a weird time for every bike company right now. No one has bike parts. There's no real cash flow at the moment. And just weird times. And so I didn't expect anything really. I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to see what happens, and no expectations at all. And then they exceeded my expectations by a lot by what they offered and everything they're going to do for me. So I'm super pumped on that.
No, that doesn't surprise me. You know, Ronnie Remo at Total, great guy, great brand. A lot of great guys at DK as well. You know, Scott Town's awesome. Steve Buddendeck's a legend in the BMX industry. There's a lot of good guys in that roof that are steering the ship. I'm excited you're a part of it, and I'm excited that you're happy. Now, do you know what's happening with the remainder of your signature Total frames? Are there any remaining, or are those sold out?
From my understanding, from talking to people that know the distributors, I know all my frames are sold out, and because it was even hard for myself to get a frame when I needed it before France.
So now you're on DK. I assume you're riding the team frame. Are you already on it? You're on this bike already, and how does it feel compared to the Total?
Yeah, that was another reason I wanted to ride for DK, because the phase frame they offer is pretty darn similar to the Americano frame. I know Marcus Christopher had a lot of input on it. I don't know if he was copying my stuff, but thanks, Marcus, because either way, it felt like such an easy transition hopping. It felt like such an easy transition hopping on this new frame. Actually, just feels lighter and more responsive in a good way, and I'm actually really happy with it.
Well, that's awesome. So is there anything exciting in the works, maybe post-Olympics, that you and Marcus are going to work on together now that you have two heavy hitters on the same brand in the same city?
Yeah, there's a lot of talk about some split edits and a few ideas like that. So I'm sure we'll get creative and have fun together, especially since we're always at least once a week riding together.
Well, Nick, that's awesome. I'm psyched that you're psyched. I know when you are happy, the best comes out of you, and the best comes out of you. We see some incredible riding, and that's what we all want. So, speaking of incredible riding on your end, you qualified for the Olympics. That's coming up in just a couple weeks' time. What are you doing to in these final stages of getting ready? Has anything changed in your regiment, or are you just kind of on the same grind? What's going on your end?
I'm kind of on the same grind because I know I've been doing everything I possibly can, especially with COVID. It was a huge blessing to really fine tune my training schedule and routine. And I feel really confident with that, but I am focusing right now on just the recovery side, really upping anything I can to increase recovery, because I'm actually riding a little bit more consistently, more days in a row. Usually I'll do 3 days on and 1 day off, but now I'm going for the 4 to 5 days in a row range and maybe 1 or 2 days off. And I actually invested in myself with a brand new sauna because I know it's going to be extremely hot in Tokyo. USA Cycling's made it very known that we're going to be experiencing some extreme temperatures. So as a reward for qualifying, I've always wanted an infrared sauna because I know there's so many benefits to helping with recovery, but there's a whole heat acclimation side of it that I've been exploring, and sometimes it's not enjoyable sweating your butt off for 50 minutes without any water, but if that's going to help me in Tokyo, I'm all for it.
So between this new infrared sauna, the strict vegan diet, and your regular CBD use, would you say you're the healthiest man in BMX?
Arguably, maybe. I don't know. Maybe most health conscious. I know a lot of guys work hard on their own, so I'm just winging it, fine tuning everything I can and whatever I research. And there's tons of science out there, so I'm just doing what I can.
So Nick, going into Tokyo, I know you have a crazy trick list already. Are you going to bring out anything new, or is this kind of just stick to the basics, do what you're good at, and put it all together in one run? What's the game plan?
The game plan is just to do everything I've worked on COVID. I feel really confident with all my hardest tricks. So to actually get the chance to perform it all at once is my goal. I went for it in France. It didn't really go to plan. So I just want redemption and to really showcase all these new tricks I've been doing during quarantine.
Nick, ironically, you're one of the older guys on the playing field in the Olympics. What would it mean to you to take home a gold medal? Will this kind of be the highlight of your whole career, or is this just another contest for you?
It truly would just be, it would just solidify all this hard work, and there's been a lot of sacrifices over these last 3 years or 4 years now of this whole Olympic journey. It's just been a crazy journey, and I've never worked so hard and wanted something so badly. So the fact that there's the opportunity to win a medal now, because the qualifying was its own journey. And I feel more relief than ever now that I'm actually qualified. So I'm just going in excited, and it would mean the world to win, especially the gold medal. Just it would solidify everything. It'd probably be the biggest highlight in my career. I haven't won an X Games medal. I feel like I have every chance and the ability to win a medal at the Olympics, and that's what I'm truly going for.
Well, that sounds completely reasonable to me. I don't know if you remember this, but a number of years ago when you first got on Total, we shot an interview in my garage in San Diego. Now you're on DK, and just look at how the world has changed. We're talking over Zoom, we're not talking in person, but New bike, heading to the Olympics. Pretty big journey here, Nick. Proud of you. Amazing accomplishment here. Anything you care to add before we get out of here?
I just want to say thank you for this interview. Thank you for my girlfriend for helping me so much on this journey, especially all my sponsors, everyone that helps and rides with me at the brew house. I'm in there alone a lot, so my girlfriend actually comes and watches me so I can ride. And that's been like the hugest blessing through this all. I just want to say thanks to everybody that they know who they are at the brew house. Any session in there, it means a lot to me.
Well, Nick, the next few weeks are going to be pretty crazy. Good luck to you, and I can't wait to see what's next.
Thank you, Kyle.